Estimated every 3 days. Elevators in the world. Nearly equal number of people with the world's population, 8 billion people. This make the elevator. It's become a form of transportation most frequently used in the world. But the more you use, the higher the risk. Ever since, there have been many cases of poor quality elevators brought into use, the potential for certain dangers that we sometimes can't anticipate. It affects life itself, of those who enter it. However, the reasons are wrong from the elevators themselves. Not everything. Because there are tragic accidents. And the reason for that comes from a lot of scary coincidences. People don't dare to repeat it even once. It's in Taipei, not far away, where there is an elevator, but the elements around it are terrifying enough. It makes people nervous, scared and wondering, will I lie dead here? Mention of Taipei. Many people immediately remember the name, capital of Taiwan, with a 4-way, 8-way subway, sparkling department store center, pub barbecue counter, illuminated color light, the most popular and advanced exhibitor. It always brings a new feeling, great for those who enjoy. However, what's special about Taipei is that it's not just modern. There are also old houses here, bearing to colors gray and brown. The old way become an attractive tourist destination to the point where there are particular neighborhoods serving visiting needs. Located near the center of the North District 3 of Tanbak City. It's one of the busiest areas. So many old and new apartments are interspersed. Among them, there is an apartment building called the World's Ancestors, with 12 floors, quite spacious, when fully equipped with elevators and CCTV. But let's see if there's a weirdness here. At Sao, the building is divided into 2 separate elevator zones. Because this is a multifunctional building, when used not only for living, but also for rent, for different business purposes, such as a medical practice business, not to affect the people who live there. The building has a dedicated elevator. It's called an elevator, intended for use on business premises. And it just goes to the 7th floor. The residents born live here. Once inside the building, there will be a separate door. The remaining 2 elevators, it's called Elevator B and Elevator C. It can go up to the 12th floor. This division shows that even strangers, you can still enter the building if they want to go to businesses. From the 1st to the 7th floor, however, they can only use one elevator. The elevator back to the businesses in this building. Of those many facilities, it's a sanatorium on the 5th floor, specializing in the treatment of neurological diseases. It's called cancer rehabilitation. This is a facility that's been operating for a long time and often by people in the area. Trust back to medical care. General, all activities here are very normal, with the whole business, as well as customers coming here, just like every other apartment. Until one day, this is the only elevator. It caused a fateful tragedy. 2000, not 110. That's 14/8, 2010. At about 4:27 p.m. A day that seems as normal as every other day. Maybe it's not time to get off work. The apartment looks pretty empty. As the camera recorded only, there's a 48-year-old middle-aged woman surnamed Chun, one of the many patients in the 5th floor clinic. of this apartment. Enter the elevator, dedicated for the business floors of the building. The reason I came here is because I was young. I used to have a mild mental disorder and was treated at home. Restore the cancer function for a long time. Lucky to be treated early, so physical and behavioral performance has improved a lot. That's why I live at home with my family and just by appointment for periodic examination and treatment. It's also because of your health. This moment is almost back to normal. So the family doesn't go to the clinic with anything. Just like a habit, I went into the building alone today and prepared to take the elevator to the 5th floor. Follow the usual steps. Chun will press the button and wait for the elevator to go to the 5th floor. Since the elevator doors opened on the 1st floor, until we take the elevator to the 5th floor, total steps will not take more than 30 seconds. Not to mention work. Only ceiling. I've been to this building many times before. The operation is also faster compared to the usual stranger, because it's especially comfortable to be naked today. At least from the surveillance in the 1st floor lobby and in the elevator. When my aunt walked into the elevator, it has revealed everything. Very comfortable appearance and state. It's completely normal. It seems to be because it's too comfortable. So while pressing the floor selection button, because Chun made a mistake, it's that instead of hitting the 5th floor, you're hitting the 6th floor without even knowing. This accident led Ms. Chun into a deadly trap. Cannot be foreseen. During the elevator ride up there, I didn't realize I pressed the wrong button. That was less than half a minute later, when the elevator doors open, because it's so confusing. When in front, it's not a familiar clinic setting. It's an iron door. I didn't think I was on the wrong floor. By instinct, unconsciously she stepped out to observe the situation. Something unexpected happens right now. Because the elevator reached 6 as chosen. Then again, my aunt got out of the elevator. So the elevator doors automatically close. That's less than 3 seconds. Naked aunt isolated from the elevator. Surveillance cameras in the elevator. Take a picture of the elevator door. Automatic closing. After my aunt walked out of the elevator naked. The video of Aunt Bear stops here. So what happened next happened to this woman. That day, and the days that follow, my aunt is constantly searching in many different areas outside the building. Even the police assist in the search. No matter how well it's done, he also did not help his family find out. They never expected that. Right now, the ceiling is still in the building. Until the night of the 7th day after her disappearance. A 76-year-old man, surnamed Zhang, rushed to this apartment to visit her daughter who lives on the 7th floor. What's even weirder and more puzzling is that night, Mr. Zhang is eagerly waiting for his daughter. Should have gone to the 7th floor. Then I hit the wrong button on the 6th floor. It was the floor that I remembered wrong many nights before. And as the elevator doors on the 6th floor slowly opened, you can imagine it. How did the horror story happen? Less than half a minute later, old man, I've seen the most horrible thing in my life. I just got to where the door opened. My aunt's body poured upside down. It's 8:30 p.m. Mr. John was so scared that he almost jumped out of his chest. What's even more terrifying is what's happening in front of me. The victim has been dead for days, so the body showed a certain stiffness. After the elevator opens, the victim's body was not lying on the ground. I fell down on one side of the elevator door in a kneeling position. He looked up at Mr. Jang's face. His legs are now numb. Stumbling into the corner of the elevator. Extreme fear. But Mr. Jang didn't take the elevator back down. Because the heterosexual body is now stuck in the elevator door. The elevator cannot be closed. The scene in front of me is like that, immobilized in front of Mr. Jang. Let's imagine this scene. Let's say you're in an elevator. The elevator door suddenly opened, and then a body suddenly leaned against the side of the elevator and blocked the door. Don't let the ladder down. You can't get out of the elevator, and you can't let the elevator go down. What's in front of you is a body. It forces you to face it. There's no way to escape. How it feels. Surveillance camera footage shows the attack. Full of this surprise. That scared Mr. Jang almost to death on the spot. Faced the situation at hand. The old man in the elevator too scared to move. For a long time. I don't know what to do. After a thought, he took out the phone and called his daughter to help. The daughter also has no way to solve Sao okay. Thanks to the manager. The manager shouted from the void on the 7th floor. Sir, please move the victim's body into the elevator. Be careful not to get stuck in the door. Can you hear me? Although the daughter, and how persuasive the manager was, Mr. Jang did not dare to touch it. The woman's body smells bad. Think about it. Just seeing a dead body is bad enough. Then AI can stand the job. Touching a dead body in such a tight space for so long. The building manager then. I contacted the owner on the 6th floor to unlock it, but can't contact until 9:18 p.m. Not feel good. The manager told Mr. Jang that the 6th floor is uninhabited, and there's no other way. Let him out of this situation, in addition to moving body in the elevator. Mr. Jang is alone now, across from the body in the elevator, 40 minutes after an intense psychological struggle. He suppressed the fear. Close your eyes, and crept her naked body into the elevator. And quickly pressed the button to go down to the 1st floor. That's Mr. Jang, along with a female corpse that's starting to rot. Slowly move from the 6th floor to the 1st. You can try to imagine Mr. Jang's heavy feeling, not in this short period of time. Even if you are about to get out of a difficult situation for almost an hour. But I think, from the last second when the elevator goes down, Mr. Jang must have expected it to pass quickly. Initial estimated autopsy results. My father died on Thursday, trapped in the elevator. And according to police investigations, the truth that has been revealed is iron gate fence elevator door on the 6th floor. It's been there. It hasn't been opened in 7 days. All the investigators looked at each other in disbelief. It was horrible what happened to my aunt 5 days before he died. From the moment you step out of the elevator, at the CCTV, I can't record anything related to heterosexuality anymore. Then from the scene the police speculate. At the first moment trapped, like everyone else, subconsciously, because the ceiling probably wanted to open the iron door. But then I was horrified to find out the iron door is locked. So no matter how hard you try, I can't open it. In front is the locked door. In the back is the elevator, but it's closed. In other words, she was trapped between the iron door and the elevator. The distance is only 40 centimeters. An adult is trapped here. Can't squat or lie down. I mean, from the moment I got stuck there. The ceiling must always stand. There's no other choice. If you're a friend, how will we save ourselves in such an adverse situation? Under normal circumstances, if any of us were in this situation, we'd think. I quickly called the owner of the 6th floor. Please open the iron door. At the same time, quickly press the elevator button up or down again to reopen the elevator door and get out of this ridiculous situation, at least for normal people. These are the two most basic self-help methods. Even though the victim doesn't have a surveillance camera right now. But I believe that the victim was locked in the iron door. I will also try to use these two methods to save myself. But why can't you call anyone naked? It's actually more depressing than a few seconds later. Maybe the female victim has to face it with more cruel facts. The first truth. Because the entire 6th floor of this building, they are all owned by one person. This person doesn't like to be bothered by strangers, so wear it for clarity. Violation of apartment safety regulations. Owner on the 6th floor locked the iron door outside the elevator to avoid being put in by outsiders. But wait, at Sao, there's an iron door on the side of the elevator. Not even a thief can. Going up the stairs to Sao. I please explain the situation of Taiwan buildings. Time for you to understand. Into Taiwanese buildings, you need to rely on the security doors on each floor. And the 6th floor safety door. This building has to go up the stairs from the 6th floor. The door from the stairs can't be opened back. So close the door. The stairs are safe. It's not safe on the elevator side. Back to my aunt's situation right now. Harder than. It's because the iron door is narrow. I got both my body and my hands trapped inside the iron door. With hands out, it's amazing. You can't reach the elevator button. The second truth. What is even more dangerous is the owner of this 6th floor to move to another city a long time ago. That means the entire 6th floor at the time of the incident. There are no people at all. More precisely, there's no AI in the entire 6th floor right now other than naked ants are stuck in this 40-centimeter gap. The third truth. They don't carry a phone. So you can't call for help from any AI. You can feel the despair of the victim. Number. The time just goes by. The clinic on the 5th floor doesn't know. Naked and trapped upstairs. People at home don't even know what's going on. Go to the wrong level. What's the problem? In the middle of the iron gate. If you want to go back to the elevator, no way. Or to get out of the iron gate. There is no way. Or because I want to call. People on the 6th floor came to help. Unfortunately, there's no AI on the 6th floor. I can imagine the hopelessness and fear of the heterosexual during that time trapped in that narrow gap. How horrible. Just know that many days later, when not detected, I'm sure because I didn't eat rice. Don't drink water. I can sit down because the space is too small. I can only stand still and wait in vain. I believe that the most desperate times, there will be this question in the victim's mind. Stuck there for days like that. Family does not know how to find me, Sao. There's obviously surveillance in the building. When checking the surveillance camera, maybe they didn't find out I was on the 6th floor or something. I can tell you, just check the surveillance. The family of the heterosexual was able to search and quickly help. I was locked up for days and nights, and in the face of near death. And the answers to these questions, it may make many people, especially the family of the victim who was punched in the chest for warmth, because it was actually on the day of the incident, to twilight, when I found out my aunt hadn't come home. Then the victim's family immediately went to the 5th floor clinic. What to look for? The clinic did not see the victim. I don't know if the victim was trapped upstairs. When asked by the victim's family, they said the woman didn't come. Just like that, after getting the answer from the clinic, the victim's family mistakenly believed maybe the woman relapsed on the way to the clinic. So no AI. At least think about checking the surveillance video of this building. That's why the whole family can only rush to find each other. In the areas around the apartment, my aunt's accident happened. It scares the residents of the building. There are some questions behind this story. It makes people sweat cold. It's never been answered. The first, there was a serious negligence in the management of the building. This by Atsau 6th floor can bypass the regulations on apartment safety that install iron sliding door, blocking the entrance to the elevator. Second, if the 6th floor doesn't have AI, it's Atsau not installed, for the elevator does not stop on the 6th floor. And at Sao, after installing the iron sliding door, there has never been a similar accident. Tuesday, after the incident, the investigators found something puzzling. Specifically, after performing the on-site inspection, they found out the sound insulation of this building is actually not good. If you shout on the 6th floor, people are on the 5th and 7th floors, you can completely hear it. However, for 5 days the victim was trapped. People on both floors told me I didn't hear any unusual sounds. My aunt is sick right now. I forgot about screaming for help. Or the people here are lying, just because they ignored the call for help, unknowingly leading to the death of the victim. And then we have to deny everything. So far, these questions still don't have a clear answer. The one-side truth is, iron door. It's not arranged by the current owner of the 6th floor. He just locked the door. And the installation of the door, it was the first owner who bought this 6th floor. He's a martial artist. Used the 6th floor to build a dojo. Because I don't want to be bothered by people around me, so I installed this door to protect my home. Until later, the new owner of the 6th floor bought it. The owner only lived here for a short time. So don't even think about removing the iron door, because it doesn't affect AI. Then this person leaves and locks the door. And I can't believe that just because of this carelessness, that caused a horrific tragedy. Finally, the new owner, they paid the victim's family 700,000 yuan, while the original host, compensation for the victim's family 1 million great yuan. That's how this tragedy that shouldn't have happened ended. But ever since, until now, this accident still makes people sweat. Every time I repeat, it's not just from the sudden death of your naked aunt, from the fault of the Kier iron door, but besides that, it's also associated with a special spiritual element when the time comes to find the body. Coincidentally, in the 7th month of the lunar calendar, people believe that there must have been some resentment. That fateful night Mr. John coincidentally pressed the button. The 6th floor is the same as the naked one. it's not about. In an interview not long after, Mr. Zhang also recounted that night as I entered the elevator on the first floor, Mr. Zhang felt that I just walked in with a middle-aged woman. It's strange that he's staring at you. When we get to the 6th floor, Chastity naked banged on person. He immediately panicked and looked around. But the woman with him was no longer there. Until Mr. Zhang looked back, the face of the body, the woman who was in the elevator with me. Before that, even though it can't be determined, this is the magical element. Or because the old man saw hallucinations. But every time I hear you talk about this, AI also has a grumpy feeling to chicken skin.
Please leave a comment about your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Stay tuned for more thrilling content and to experience the nightmares ahead.